I learned Spanish so I could finally understand what my friends were saying when they switched languages around me. What I uncovered wasn't at all what I'd convinced myself it was. I transferred in junior year to a school where almost everyone spoke Spanish except me. I was the quiet new kid who smiled and nodded through half of every conversation. Somehow, I ended up close with Danny, Valeria, and Rocio, the girls everyone watched, the ones who got invited everywhere and moved through the halls like they owned them. They folded me in from day one, sat with me at lunch, covered for me when I butchered basic phrases, never made me feel stupid. But every so often, mid-conversation, they'd slip into Spanish and laugh at something I couldn't follow. "It's nothing," they'd say after. I always smiled. I always wondered. A few weeks before our spring formal, I started teaching myself Spanish. Not to snoop, I just wanted to stop feeling like a guest in my own friendship. I'd lie in bed with earbuds in, whispering vocabulary while my mom assumed I was asleep. I wasn't trying to get fluent, I just wanted to catch up a little. Around then, my mom started in with comments. "They're sweet girls, but you'll never really be one of them. Don't be shocked when they leave you out of something that matters." I brushed it off. She didn't get it. These girls had been nothing but good to me. Then things got strange. At lunch one day, they were laughing as usual, and Danny said something in Spanish, and they all went quiet and glanced at me before cracking up again. I caught my name. I caught the word for the dance, nothing else. I kept eating like I hadn't noticed. A few days later, I came up to our spot and heard Rocio say her mom in Spanish, low and serious. They hushed. Then Valeria said, "She can't find out." And Danny said something with the word for sad in it and laughed. My stomach dropped because my mom had been sick for most of that year, in and out of treatment, exhausted, smaller every month. I didn't talk about it. I hated the pity. I'd told the girls once early on, and they'd listened. Now they were whispering about her, calling it sad, laughing. My chest went tight. I sat down and acted normal and couldn't stop spinning. The next week it got worse. I overheard Danny on the phone in the hall, fast Spanish, and caught "she has no clue" and the word for the formal. She saw me, hung up instantly, smiled like nothing. I smiled back and went home and unraveled. I started pulling away, quieter at lunch, barely texting the group chat. They noticed at once. "You okay? Did something happen?" Big worried eyes, all in English. I couldn't say it. How do you tell your best friends you think they're mocking your sick mom behind your back? I just said school was stressing me out. They didn't push, but they didn't buy it. 3 days before the formal, I came around the corner by the gym and heard Valeria say, in Spanish, "I can't believe we actually pulled it off." Rocio laughed and said, "She has no idea what's coming." They walked off before I heard more. I didn't sleep that night. For the first time, I told my mom everything. The whispers, the phone call, all of it. She got very quiet. Then, instead of saying, "I told you so," she said something I didn't expect. "Sweetheart, are you sure that's what you heard?" I said I was sure enough to be scared. She squeezed my hand and said she'd drive me herself and wait in the parking lot just in case. Formal night, I walked in alone, braced for war, scanning the room. I spotted the three of them by the entrance and they came straight for me. "Here it comes," I thought. "Come with us," Danny said, taking my hand. "Don't ask questions." I almost pulled away. I let them lead me toward the back instead. They stopped. The crowd shifted, and there, sitting in a chair they'd set up, wrapped in the nice coat she only wore on good days, was my mom. They'd arranged everything with her doctor and with my mom herself. A few hours out, a real night, oxygen tank tucked discreetly behind the chair, a nurse on standby by the door. I couldn't breathe. The secret had been this. The sad had been them figuring out how to give a kid one perfect night with her mother while she still could. My mom held her arms out and I came apart, sobbing into her shoulder while the three girls stood there crying too. They'd spent weeks planning it in Spanish so I wouldn't catch a word. My mom had been in on it the whole time. Even the morning she sat across from me pretending to wonder if I'd misheard. She passed that summer. I still have the photos from that night, me, my mom, and three girls who loved me enough to give us something I'll keep forever.